Mic check, mic check.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
All right, there it is.
Wait, that's her.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a blue.
Whatever you look at. Yeah, that's it. That's yes.
That's it.
I saw that on social today. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, drop that beat, Ben. Ready?
Oh, I'm for sure.
Yeah. Safe after the show.
Oh,
Good evening. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Time for another edition of Sports for You on a Tuesday. Live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm John. That's Mark. What up with it? It's Nick Cruz.
What it do?
Of course, the man working the board has been ready. We outdoors today. Enjoying the summer breeze.
Shot
Shot
that
the
song.
quick. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button on Facebook. Hit that subscribe button on Townhouse Media on YouTube. If you're listening digitally, hit the subscribe button on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple, iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon Music, Stitcher, and Verbal. Lots to get into today as we're now officially into the NBA Finals. Game 1 has already begun with between the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Suns are right now up 24-20 with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing. So a lot to get into. There's been a lot going on in this last week, and especially in the last 24. Man, if that happens, in the last 48 hours in the world of sports. So get your opinions, get in the comments. Leave a comment, and we'll get your thoughts on. And we'll get your thoughts. So we'll start with some serious stuff. There's a lot of stuff centered around women sports, women and sports that we need to talk about. And then we'll definitely get into the NBA Finals, give our predictions, and everything else going forward. It's not been a pleasant week for women in sports, for women who are associated with athletes in sports. It's just not been a good week for them. And we want to say, whatever you're going through, we're supporting you, we're riding with you. Hope everything, works out in your favor. I want to start off with, it's not an easy story to talk about, but I feel like we have to. As a Dodger fan, and Dario Saric is going to the locker room, he is looking like he's in pain right now.
Yeah, that's a loss for them.
I think. Like a hip injury, but hopefully he's okay. Trevor Bauer. And this is really an uncomfortable story to talk about. Not just for me as a Dodgers fan, but just me, just this period. What's going on, everybody? He's being helped now to the locker room. But Trevor Bauer, the starting pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, he's right now on administrative leave by Major League Baseball. Last Tuesday night, allegations surfaced from a young lady in the city of Pasadena. Pasadena City Police are investigating Trevor Bauer for possible domestic and violence and sexual assault. Now, I'm really not going to get into the details. I will tell y'all right now, it is real gruesome. Some of the stuff I don't even want to repeat. Now, none of it I want to repeat because it's just heinous. But right now, Trevor Bauer is innocent until proven guilty, but it is not a good look. When I saw some of these allegations of the physical type of force he used, I just think it's just not a good look, and the Dodgers are in an interesting predicament now because I think when he gets back, he's not going to be back no time soon. But the question is, what's next? Y'all saw the story. Y'all seen the reports. Mm-hmm. Y'all seen the statements. Y'all seen the restraining order and everything. Y'all first reaction was what with this Trevor Bauer story?
The same thing you said. It's heinous. Like you don't really like reading certain things and going, hearing about certain stories like that. But on the other end of it, there are some people who's into things like that.
Right.
When it comes to,
Yeah.
consensual sex. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to let the whole story play out, hear all the, the facts about the case. But right now, it looks horrible. It looks really bad.
Yeah, it looks just down. It's just downright nasty right now, because outside of
good pass, boy.
Yeah, that was. My initial reaction to reading some of this stuff, I was like, whoa. I'm the same with you. I want to see everything play out.
Me too.
Because the last thing you want to do is, I'm not defending him none whatsoever with this statement. But the last thing you want to do is when these type of allegations come out, the worst thing for you to do is to, like, in a way, hop on a bandwagon.
Right.
If it's it's different if you have people that's personally involved in that. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different story. But from my perspective, I'm like, it sounds bad, but the last thing I want to do is have this opinion of this dude or whatever, and then all of a sudden we come out and the person that's accusing them pretty much said all this stuff to get money out of them. And I'm not saying that's what's going on, but
right.
That's the last thing as a person anybody should want to do is agree and have this type of because anytime somebody gets these type of allegations, even if they're not true, they follow you.
Right. And they're going to follow Trevor Bauer for the rest of his life.
Yeah, most definitely.
For the rest of his career. He's already been found guilty in the court of public opinion. So there's nothing he can really do or say that's going to change most people's minds. He's guilty, even if there's no criminal charges. If there's going to be a civil suit, no matter what. And we said this even when we had the discussion about Deshaun Watson. We just want everything to play out. And obviously, this is a process. And you need to let this play out because we don't know what else is still other evidence is going to be presented. Now, MLB does want to say they hope, which I think was the dumbest quote I saw, said they hope to talk to Trevor Bauer and the woman. What you mean you hope? You do or you don't?
There's no hope for that. Oh my, MLB is so stupid.
Rob Manfred is the worst commissioner in sports. I've said it once. I'm going to say it again.
He makes Roger Goodell look like a genius.
He makes Roger Goodell look like the Pope.
Yeah. Well,
never mind.
Oh, kidding me?
Well, I can't say that. But
yeah, never mind.
Yeah, man, he really does make Roger Goodell look like a saint, like he's Mother Teresa. Like he
yeah.
I mean, come on. What you mean you hope to talk to the lady? You supposed to.
You got to give her that.
Yeah.
Come on.
That was ridiculous. That was a crazy statement. They would have been better off not saying anything than say that statement.
Yeah.
And I want to say this, and now I'm going to shift over to the Dodgers part. So there's been criticism of the Dodgers because they waited to MLB remove Trevor Bauer from the team instead of doing it proactively. Now, Dave Roberts said this was out of his control because MLB said this was an active investigation, so they couldn't this wasn't like him taking Yasiel Puig out of the lineup because he was late for batting practice. Okay. This was something that he had no control over, and obviously they've faced a lot of criticism. And one of those critics has been former Dodger and Diamondbacks GM Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart, for those who don't know, was a reliever on the 81 World Series team with Fernando and Hershiser, and obviously led by Tommy Lasorda. Mm-hmm. And he has came out very outspoken against the Dodgers because he didn't like how they handled the situation. Mm-hmm. In a couple weeks, the Dodgers are going to have their 40-year anniversary celebration for the 81 Dodgers. Mm-hmm. And Dave Stewart has already said he is not going to be there because he does not like the way the franchise is being ran. He said this will not have happened on the O'Malley's watch, which I think is BS because we don't know how the O'Malleys would have reacted to this.
There's no way you can know how anybody reacted to this. This isn't something that they have in the owner's manual. Like, just in case this person does this, you react like that. No, you don't know what's going to happen.
And I want to bring this up also, another thing with Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart, we all know, is a former agent. And one of his clients was Matt Kemp. Mm-hmm. And obviously, we know how Matt Kemp's time with the Dodgers ended. Obviously,
Hi, Rihanna.
well, that was part of it, and then injuries. So he had his return and made the All-Star team. Was comeback player of the year, as you see. Malika Andrews is interviewed in Coach Budenholzer, and we're going to talk about that later.
Hey, Malika.
Yeah, Bay Area. Shout out.
Saved this job with that series win. Because I think he's going to be up out of there if that would have happened.
Darvin Ham would have been right there.
Yep.
Well, he might be getting the Wizards job now. But we'll see where that goes. But back to the Dodgers. I don't know what they could have done. I mean, it's easy to say they should have just gone ahead and removed him before the MLB did. But then they don't also want to look like, okay, make this dude guilty before proven innocent. And obviously, some people say, well, it's not like he's Kershaw or one of your core guys. He's just been here for like a few months. Well, but you still have to treat him like he's still on the team. Now, I know Trevor Bauer's a polarizing figure because he's very outspoken about MLB rules, and he's a kind of he could be kind of a jerk sometimes. But you still you still have to treat him like he's one of the team. And Giannis, missed that layup. He's gonna want that one back ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did y'all think the Dodgers handled it?
Me personally, I mean, I think the Dodgers did. I mean, in my opinion, the only thing they could do. I mean, you let the league take care of this,
right?
Because at the end of the day, let's say for example, it goes sour. You can always say it was a league, not to say it like that. It was a league decision.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what Dave Roberts was saying, I think.
Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it is. So no matter what happens, you kind of saved yourself in this situation because the league took over it. So that way, no matter what goes down, people may feel like they could have did this and that to help, but I mean, who knows what you're supposed to do in these type of situations? You can, like you said, you don't want to jump the gun and be like, let's suspend this guy because of this, and then end up happening that it end up not being true, and now all of a sudden he sues. He not only sues the MLB, he's gonna end up suing the Dodgers or something to that extent. If it gets to that point, because he lost money.
Yep.
So for right now, since he's on administrative leave, it's like the equivalent of the exemplars with the NFL.
He's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid for the next 7 days. Now his time on the commissioner's list ends on Friday. I don't think he will be activated. I think they're going to let this ride out to past the All-Star break because obviously there's no purpose of bringing him back if they're going to make this a slow process.
Yeah.
So shout out. So we'll see. I want to bring up another story involving women. We talked about it before. This situation with the Washington football team.
Oh my God! Is something else
another?
happening?
Well, no, we finally have closure on the previous one.
Oh,
okay, good,
cool.
The Washington football team was fined $10 million, and they lost no draft picks. There will be no suspensions for the story in the Washington Post about their culture towards women and cheerleaders. And now Daniel Snyder's wife, Tanya Snyder, has joined on as co-CEO. And will now handle the day-to-day operation.
So, to fix all the problems, you're gonna have the initiator's wife help with everything.
Yeah.
And who's to know that
she's not covering up?
Thank you. Not even just covering up. Who knows that she wasn't involved in anything and she just got covered up in the mix? You know how these how some of these billionaire functions are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what they over there doing. His wife could have been right there in the midst of everything, just like he was, but he just kept her face out of everything and her name away from it.
Was this a slap on the wrist by the NFL to the Washington football team? By the way,
yeah.
By the way, it's just stupid. They still are being called that, but that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, I think it is.
That's absolutely idiotic.
That $10 million is like a chip out the bucket for them. Like you said, no draft picks lost. Everything they lost, they're gonna make up next year.
They'll be able to get that $10 million back literally at jersey sales.
Yep.
And they'll probably in the long run they'll make that money back anyway as soon as they decide what team name they want. And those first week of sales of jerseys get sold. they'll make all that money back as well. But or they'll just sign Tim Tebow. But
he'll be available.
Yeah, if you want to get jersey sales, everybody, just sign Tim Tebow real fast on your team. You'll make you a quick couple $1 million.
They about to cut him?
Who knows? Who
no,
cares?
well,
Urban Meyer's not cutting him. But I don't know. This is the Washington football team, man. They're ridiculous. It's something. And I don't like that whole culture of how these billionaires do the women that work for them.
Right.
They do them foul because they know they have all this money and power, and they can just make a couple of phone calls and pretty much have this person blackballed in the industry.
Sounds like every industry.
Yeah, for real.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's the billionaire culture.
They don't have to be billionaires though.
Well, you can be an Olympian and just because you failed a drug test.
Oh.
And they want to keep you out of the Olympics, which leads to our next story, and that is Shikari Richardson.
Uh-oh.
For those who don't know who Shikari Richardson is, Shikari Richardson was an Olympic prospect who was going to represent our United States of America in the 100 meters in Tokyo. But last week, a report comes down that she failed the drug test because she tested positive for marijuana, and she's been suspended 30 days, which removed her from competing in the 100 meters, but still made her eligible to compete in the 4x100 relay for Team USA. Well, she's not even going to be doing that. Team USA announced that Shikari Richardson would not be a part of the 4x100 meter relay in Tokyo. Now, she tested positive because and I'm going to say this young girl, 21, she owned it. And she didn't really have nothing to own. She just came out and said it. I was smoking weed. I was grieving my mother's death.
Yeah, what happened was she ended up saying, I think she said she had an edible or something. Whatever it was, she consumed marijuana in a time where, her mind really wasn't all the way right.
Right.
I've been fortunate enough to not lose my mom, but I've lost my grandmother, and especially for her to be so recently, you're not in the best state of mind within those first couple of weeks, and especially for her, she's constantly in the public eye, and at the end of the day, you losing a parent at 21 years old, that's a pivotal age. She's starting to become her own woman. And her mom's been there with her every single step. And, and it seems like when she got to the step that they all been working for, her mom passes. That's very unfortunate. And, that could mess with anybody. I'm not defending what she did because she knowingly knew what she was doing.
Right.
But I'm not about to – I'll leave it like this. I'm not about to damn her and put her at a standard that I wouldn't, necessarily partake in my own self. You feel me?
Right.
So I'm not gonna say that that I wouldn't, if I was in the situation, I would have probably did, if I would did something different. Who knows what would happen? There could be people all up in her ears saying, oh man, this will help you a little bit. Oh, you could do this and that, and they won't show up on the test, or something like that. People say something like that all the time. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I don't know. I feel as if she still should have been able to run the relay, especially considering that she did time. She served her time, and she's still getting damned for it. That's not right.
Yeah, I agree with that. First off, I feel like we got to get the marijuana test out of here. It doesn't help you. It doesn't enhance anything sports wise. So I think they should just allow the players or the Olympians or whoever it is to use it for whatever reason they need to use it for.
Especially considering that she won't get tested for anything else besides the Olympics, because I'm pretty sure like she's from Oregon, right? So she out there, they don't get tested for there's no marijuana testing going on for any of the events out there. Not saying that she haven't done it beforehand, but she hasn't failed a drug test up to this point.
Right.
So, and it just so happens, around the same time, it's just crazy. It's a weird situation.
I feel like I applaud her because she took accountability. She took ownership for what she did wrong.
Yeah.
The suspension, I'm not gonna say it was wrong because she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
However, the problem I do have is with the Olympics not selecting her to like John was saying, do the relay. Like you said, the time was served already. The time was gonna be served already.
Exactly.
And the dumb part is, had she tested positive 3 days before, she would still been eligible for the 100 meters.
Yeah, so that's dumb. I don't like that. That makes it seem like, it makes it seem like it's bigger than just that situation.
Well, when you add in everything you was explaining in the group chat, it kind of does seem like that.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. For everybody that doesn't know about that,
Go ahead, brother.
There's been a whole lot of people have been saying there's been a lot of racist stuff been going on with the Olympics as far as going towards black people. They outlawed. It's a black-owned company that makes the swim caps for people who have natural hair.
Right.
Because if you use the regular swim caps and you have an afro or something, your afro's not gonna be able to stay all up in that swim cap.
Right.
So, and a lot of people not cool with, like pressing their hair or doing all this stuff to their hair to have it to that point. And and it was dope that this company actually came around and did that for these people and for everybody. And to be honest with you, it got banned. And in my opinion, they haven't given a logical reason why. I don't see that. You can give it to him.
Oh, here, bear.
I haven't seen the logical. Just toss it. I haven't seen the logical reason why you have banned this. What's the reason why? It's not like it helps you swim better. It doesn't give you that really an advantage. All it does is just protects your hair. That's all it is.
So they need to fix. So the question is going to be now. Is the IOC going to go ahead and straighten out this whole situation and go ahead and just come to the point where now society is a different day. It's a new day now, where obviously look, it's a new day where we have to accept that most states have officially legalized the use of marijuana. And that there's some other states that haven't. But this is not just a society. This is, and everything Nick just brought up with the IOC and Olympics outlawing stuff for social justice with the swim caps. There's always been a race issue with the Olympics. Just look at how those stadiums are built. People are dying building these stadiums. They're only going to be using for 2 weeks. And ruins the economy. Now let's just get to the story today that's been taking over the NBA and probably the world in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This story with ESPN. If you haven't been following, and Mark, I'm gonna say this, Mark, he actually was the one who informed me about it because I was in the car and he texted me like, what's this? What did Rachel Nichols say about Maria Taylor? And I was like, I didn't even hear anything. I haven't even been home.
Yeah, I didn't know about it at first either until you guys sent it in the group message. I'm like, what happened with usually Rachel Nichols is usually she's a very liked personality within the community, within the sports community. So when you hear something about somebody like that, I was like, what? Like that's weird.
So there's a situation. So Rachel Nichols was in the bubble last year. And a conversation she had with one of LeBron's advisors somehow was taped. And on the conversation, she criticized ESPN for basically hiring Maria Taylor just because she was black. Feeling like they felt pressure for their lack of diversity towards people, minorities, towards women, all that stuff. But all focus was centered around Maria Taylor. For those who know Rachel Nichols' background, she started at the Washington Post. She's been at ESPN. This is her second stint at ESPN. She was there, obviously covering multiple sports, NBA, NFL, doing stuff for E60 and Outside the Lines and everything. And then she left. She went to TNT, CNN. She had a show on CNN. It didn't last long. She just did sidelines for TNT and the NCAA tournament. Found her way back to the worldwide leader. And then she hosts her own show, NBA show weekdays called The Jump. And obviously The Jump has carried favor with a lot of NBA players, a lot of NBA personalities. And then this happened. She became like the lead sideline reporter during the bubble. But I think she was hoping that she would eventually become the lead host of all of ESPN's NBA coverage. And that went to Maria Taylor. So let me give you Maria Taylor's background. Georgia graduate, obviously. By the way, Rachel Nichols graduated from Northwestern, probably with probably the Harvard of sports broadcasting.
Yeah.
Maria Taylor, University of Georgia graduate.
Go Bulldogs.
Former basketball player, volleyball player. Started at ESPN, I believe, 7 years ago. Has worked her way up the ranks. She was doing sideline obviously for college football, college basketball, women's basketball, all that. She got her break when the SEC Network was launched, and she was the lead host for their version of College Game Day, and was the lead sideline reporter for the college footballs for the SEC's college football game in the night. That she ended up getting promoted, joined Game Day. She's the lead sideline reporter for Saturday Night College Football, and then she eventually now became the host of NBA Countdown, and is the lead host for ESPN's NBA coverage. And that was all sparked because her predecessor, Michelle Beadle, who's also now found her way into this situation. For Michelle Beadle, who was the previous host of Countdown, the founding host of Sports Nation, she tweeted out a GIF, a meme from The Godfather, the scene where they're all laughing, and asked, "Did anyone have a great weekend?" So the story, for those who don't know how Michelle Beadle's tenure ended at ESPN, she was host of Sports Nation. She left, went to NBC, didn't work. She came back to ESPN, joined Sports Nation when Max and Marcellus were there, and became the host. She then became part of the first host on Get Up. It was her, Mike Greenberg, Jalen Rose. And it started off, they didn't really find their stride. It was kind of a slow, production because it wasn't hidden. It wasn't hidden because there was too many huge personalities. And then the next thing you know, the Ohio State situation happened with Urban Meyer. And the assistant coach who was beating on his wife. And then she made a bold proclamation is, long as she's on Get Up, she's not going to cover football. You can't, and you're on an ESPN show.
There's no way in the world you could be on any ESPN show that covers multiple sports and say you're not going to cover football, which is pretty much the biggest sport in America. So they
sent her the host Countdown, which she did. She eventually got bought out of her contract. And then Maria Taylor became the host. This has just been this whole situation has just been bad. Because then now you had Jalen Rose's daughter chime in, who's saying that she's entitled just because Rachel Nichols is related to Diane Sawyer. She's a subpar reporter.
That's not true.
Maria Taylor is a generational talent. I don't try to get into telling people how to talk to their kids. My daughter went and did that.
No.
And I'm not telling Jalen to talk to his daughter because I know she's trying to find her way in the media game as well because her dad is ESPN's top NBA analyst and an NBA legend, college legend. Yeah. But I would have told her the timing is bad, especially after Jalen had the comments about Kevin Love last week.
Yeah.
And then now he's calling out the NCAA, which is another story we'll get into in a little bit. But let me get your thoughts. Mark, I'll start with you. This whole situation with Maria Taylor, Rachel Nichols, what you think?
I like Rachel Nichols, man. It's unfortunate that that was said. It's also unfortunate that whoever was in there was recording.
Yeah, that's foul.
Which is kind of messed up and then released to everybody. I also feel like, man, Rachel Nichols, as far as I know of, y'all might know more, doesn't have a history of being disrespectful.
No, as far as I know, she hasn't.
So to me, I feel like, I don't see her that way. I feel like, okay, she made a mistake. If she apologized for it, at what point are we going to forgive and move on?
You know what I really think this situation came down to? It came down to she had a moment of jealousy and a moment
emotional.
And it was an emotional moment. and she probably got caught up in the moment and said something that she really didn't mean. Like, even look.
I think she meant it. I don't think she meant it in that way that
that's what I'm saying.
It.
I think she said it. If she would have said it in probably in a different, like, if it was probably like in a wasn't like an emotional state that she was in when she said it,
right,
and she could articulate it a little bit better, then because I'm gonna be honest with you, people may not like it when I say this. What she said wasn't too far off, because I'm gonna be honest with you, they probably did choose her because of that reason. Not even outside of the fact that she's good at her job. But maybe that was a big reason why, and let's just be honest, the whole thing that was going on with the within the bubble with the Black Lives Matter movement and everything they were trying to do to be supportive of everything that was going on during that time, they probably felt as if it would be better for them to have somebody like her up on there.
And then I'm gonna bring up something, and I'm gonna get your guys' thoughts on this. I said the moment this happened, this was going to start a race war amongst the talent at ESPN. So I'm gonna give you follow this timeline. And even former talent at ESPN. Because now you have other people who are being called out for allegedly being racist.
No.
So the story breaks in the New York Post. Then here comes L Duncan, Michael Leaves. They're at a barbecue together, and they got on T-shirts that say "Support Black Journalism." They put on the caption, when you go to the cookout on the same vibe, like it was a coincidence that that we both showed up here, but we had on the same shirt.
Right.
Then you had LZ tweet, and he talked, and I'm gonna say this: he was the only person on ESPN that has actually discussed it. He discussed it. Him and Sedano discussed it today. No one else has even broached the issue. Not Mason in Ireland. Not anybody nationally. No one has, obviously not even Travis, Leewood, nobody has broached the issue about this story. And he tweeted Maria Taylor, and he had the hands up emojis, say she's a queen, she's worked hard to get where she's at. It was just comfortable. I'm not going to just, and he said, I'm not going to just dog my colleagues and this and that. Kerry Champion, former star at ESPN, same culture, same culture, different person. Jamel Hill today, she was on Dan Le Batard's show today. We all know about their issues with ESPN leaving out. And obviously, I didn't get a chance to hear it, but Amin El Hassan, who used to work at ESPN, former NBA front office insider with the Suns, he's made headlines today because now he's accusing Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN's top NBA insider and news reporter on the NBA, of being racist. He basically saying, well, the report was that Woj called Rachel a bad teammate. And then Amin was like, are you kidding me? How many black foots you done stepped on to elevate yourself? Basically saying that, he's basically elevated himself at the expense of other black insiders who covered the NBA.
What black insiders are you talking about?
The only person I could think of NBA wise is Chris Haynes.
So he said he stepped on Chris Haynes.
And there's people who think when Woj signed with ESPN, that was the reason why they had to lay off Mark Stein. But Mark Stein is white.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
So when you say stuff like that, and obviously we know Le Batard showed they really are they unfiltered, and obviously
all the way.
I love Dan Le Batard.
Yeah. They're unfiltered, so they're going to say what they're going to say, and they don't care about the consequences.
Nah.
But I want to know more about why would Amin say this, and then now he brought up then you had other people bringing up what happened with Josina Anderson. For those who don't know, Josina Anderson was one of ESPN's top NFL insiders. She left because she wanted a spot on the dais, meaning she does not just want to be known as an NFL insider. She felt like she has enough of an acumen where she could have sat on the booth with the fellas or women, and be able to analyze and not just break news. So then here comes Landon Collins and Adrian Peterson yesterday on Twitter. Well, Josina Anderson has always been is the greatest NFL insider and this and that. And here's my question to them. Yeah, you're right. She is a great insider, and she breaks great stories. Where the heck were y'all when she was in her contract negotiations with ESPN? Huh? Now y'all want to say she's a good insider because she's on her own doing her own thing. She doesn't work for ESPN. She doesn't work for Fox. She doesn't work for NBC. She doesn't work for CBS. She is doing her thing independent. She has her undefined with Josina Anderson platform podcast. That's how she breaks her news. That's how he talked to guests during the NFL season. She is doing this on her own. No bosses. No major networks behind her. Now y'all want to say she's the best analyst? Where was this when she was at ESPN and she was basically trying to get on the front screen?
Yeah, that's real. Don't support her now. She don't need your help.
Pretty much. So, but it's just, I mean, and obviously we saw Rachel Nichols' apology yesterday on the jump. They had Kendra Perkins. You had Kendra Perkins there. You had
Richard
Jefferson, and then also Kendra Perkins caught heat because they was like, "How could you be on that show?" And when she say that, and I'm seeing people on Twitter, particularly our sisters, who didn't like the apology, and I said this, fellas, and I'm gonna get your thoughts. There was nothing Rachel Nichols could have said or ESPN could have done short of firing her that would have pleased anybody.
Pretty much. And to be honest, do y'all really think she should be fired?
No.
You think she should be fired, Mark?
No. I
don't think she should be fired either.
So that goes to the next quote with her job.
But
go ahead, Mark.
I also feel like what Rachel Nichols said probably touched black women more than it touched us.
Oh, it did. It definitely did.
So for us to say she should be fired is one thing, but we can't speak for how black women feel because a lot of black women already feel like they're in society already sees them as the lowest standard. So when this happens, now there's even more proof of it. So I feel like, man, for me, I feel like if if she apologized, we can forgive her or we don't. Cool, but we also have to let black women, feel how they feel and get however they feel off their chest.
I respect that. So now let's go to today. The jump was supposed to be on air at 1:00, but they took it off air and they replaced it with Jalen and Jacoby. Rachel Nichols, who was supposed to be being a sideline reporter for today's game, has been taken off the sideline, and they've replaced her with Malika Andrews, another young, up-and-coming, promising black journalist at ESPN. Actually, she was actually on Forbes' 30 top promising sports personalities under the age of 30. Bay Area born.
What's her last name?
Andrews.
For right now.
you know something? I'm not even gonna lie. I don't like that move by ESPN.
I don't either.
The reason why,
and it's not against Malika because I think she's talented.
It's not against her, but I feel as if, like everything you just said proved that she should have been up on there already. Why did it take for this to happen so that she could be up on there? Or she should at least be, even if she's not up there with with Rachel Nichols as far as like what she's doing, she could be doing something similar.
She could have some kind of participation in there, some involvement,
some type of involvement to that level, if not that level, or she's doing something that's similar to what she's doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it shouldn't take something bad to happen before everything else elevate. Like it's a world where everybody can thrive in without something bad happening.
Right.
Unfortunately,
not in America.
Unfortunately,
this is America.
This is America, and when things happen, usually good things come out of it if you focus your mind in the positive light. And it seems like that's what's happening now because now Malika Andrews is getting her shot. You know what I'm saying, to show what she can do on a big time stage.
Yeah, it means she's going to be the one presenting the NBA champion, the Larry O.B.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be the one interviewing the Finals MVP. Mm-hmm. She's going to interview the player of the game after each game. That would have been what Rachel Nichols would have been doing, but now we don't even know if they said the jump's going to be back on tomorrow. But the question is what's going to happen. But we'll see. But that's just a crazy story, and obviously we're going to have time. I haven't seen anything on the social about if Maria Taylor did respond to Rachel Nichols' apology. I don't think
right there.
as they're talking right now, and obviously Woj is there. So obviously, and it's now it's the jump versus NBA countdown right now.
How tall is she?
And she's probably like 5 something. She's a basketball and volleyball player.
And we stand with Maria Taylor no matter what.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think Maria Taylor's taller than 5'7". I'm gonna look that up.
She's probably 5'10". I wouldn't doubt it. And
she's fine too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Georgia SEC. The only thing wrong, she went to the wrong
Wait, you
school.
said she played volleyball?
She played volleyball and basketball.
She's definitely taller than 5'7". Let me see a 5'10". Let me see.
And she recently spoke at Georgia's commencement graduation.
She's 6'2".
She is?
Sweet Jesus. Yeah, she's 6'2".
Whoa.
We'll talk about that after the show. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, speaking of college sports, there's a lot of money going around now, gentlemen.
About time. Well, legally. Go ahead.
So Thursday, it was made official that NCAA athletes can now profit off their name, image, and likeness. Thank you, Ed O'Bannon. Because it was the Ed O'Bannon, Sonny Vaccaro lawsuit, the 30 for 30, Soul God, about the shoe game, Sonny Vaccaro, his connections with some of the
but where March Madness at? And where college football at?
Yeah, they get kind of slow in the development already, huh? so the game should have been released on Thursday, huh, Mark?
That's what we're pretty much waiting on.
He's like, yeah, come on, man.
We'll get that next year.
Man, season starting too much. I can release it. I mean, I released Madden in August.
Come on, man.
Look, only thing I have to say is that,
Spencer Rattler got an endorsement with Raising Cane's. Go ahead.
Never mind. It's dope that they're doing this, but I find it whack that, there's been so many programs that have taken so many L's behind basically something they're about to have legal right now.
USC.
Fab Five.
Yeah, USC, Fab Five. Ohio State got hit with
Memphis
sanctions. Memphis.
UMass. Any place Kyler Perry went.
Miami. Remember, the U got hit with something for a while.
You know it.
And, I mean, we ain't got to talk about SMU.
Hey, do y'all think they doing this because Duke about to get in trouble?
It wouldn't put it past me if that was the case. Because
you know something? I wouldn't be surprised.
I just thought about that right now.
I forgot about Duke getting in trouble. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Duke about to be in the same predicament USC was in.
Oh, yes, they are. I'm glad you bring up USC because one person who this story revolves around is one Reggie Bush. Yeah, Mackenzie said
they need to give Reggie Bush back all his records and that Heisman and give USC that championship they won.
Our boy Ken said they need to bring back NCAA football, Fight Night, and Def Jam Vendetta. Wow.
Yeah,
I
agree. Street everything.
I agree with you, Nick. So
yeah.
they need to give Reggie Bush all that back,
and they need to reinstate the Fab Fives records as well.
Especially considering that his parents were the ones that reaped the benefits of what happened. It wasn't just him.
Pretty much. I don't understand why the people don't see that.
He got a car, and it wasn't even. He got an old car.
It don't matter.
Yeah, and look,
I think these players should have been being paid, man.
Yeah.
Man, this is
you remember what happened with Mikal Bridges? He had to pay that $40 back for that meal he had, or else he wasn't going to be able to play for Michigan State.
By the way, he tweeted about that too. He was like,
"Oh, for real?"
He was like, "NCAA, can I have my $40 back?"
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
He actually tweeted about that on Thursday.
Look, if he wouldn't have paid him back that $40, he would not have played that year. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Over a $40 meal. A $40 meal.
A kid, $40, and y'all making $40 million in your sleep. But so Reggie Bush he wants his Heisman back. Mm-hmm. He wants his records back. He's back already affiliated with USC. But now the Heisman wants to, quote unquote, punt to the NCAA saying, well, now it's in their court if they want to reinstate his records. I mean, come on now.
They said it's for the Heisman people?
The Heisman Trust basically said now it's on the NCAA. If the NCAA reinstates Reggie Bush's records, we will give him his Heisman back. We should have never took it in the first place.
There was no reason for it to be taken away. Everything that happened, look, no matter what amount of money you give a kid, it doesn't take away from the talent that and everything that he did on the field.
Man, right. Let's just be honest here, man. Everything that USC got in trouble for, every school in the SEC is doing.
Right now, as we speak.
And they've been doing it.
Thank you.
Man, listen, man. These kids should have been getting paid, man. There's no way in the world I'm making you all this money, and I can't even get a job to feed myself.
Nope.
I'm eating the worst out of everybody on this campus.
Exactly.
And I'm bringing in the most money. Nah, man. They should have been gave these kids some money, man.
There's no reason why, me being an athlete, I can't get a job or getting some type of money coming in for myself, but you, a regular student, can go ahead and do that with no issues.
Makes no sense.
That makes absolutely no sense. You remember that one guy? I think he had like a YouTube channel or something that he was getting monetized.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And he had
That punter.
Yeah, and he had to stop it because
Nah, he chose to.
he chose it.
He chose. He
Good.
stopped playing.
I'm glad he did.
He stopped playing.
Yeah, that's BS.
That's crazy. That's what Kenzie just said. That's some BS. Excuse my French.
Yeah,
It really
that
was.
is because let's be honest with you. You know I'm not doubting his talent as a kicker, but he probably wouldn't have made it to the league. He gonna make more money doing this than he would in the league anyways. Than his chances of getting to the league, as I should say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm happy NCAA is 40 years behind. But,
40.
But I'm glad that they
like 400.
wow. Go back to them times, huh, John?
I'm just saying. Might as well.
Hey, did they take away any of Matt Leinert's records?
No. By the way, when they go to the Heisman, Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush won the Heisman back to back, right? Wow.
You didn't think about that, huh? Hey, look, and Matt Leinart.
Whoa!
And Matt Leinart was there at the same time.
Time out. Mm-hmm. They did take away the wins from the year they slaughtered Oklahoma in the championship. That was it, right?
That was it. And they took away the year that we went to that Texas beat us. They took away a lot of the stuff from that year too.
But Matt Leinart didn't win the Heisman that year, right?
Yep. His Heisman is still there.
And they recognize him every year when he goes back to.
Yep. Because everything was based off of Reggie Bush. It wasn't based off of Matt Leinart. Even though Matt Leinart was doing the same thing.
So didn't Reggie Bush play the year y'all beat Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl?
Yep.
On to the next topic, please. Please.
Exactly.
I'm glad I didn't even think about that.
Exactly.
Keystone Cops, man. NCAA, man, y'all seek to amaze me, man.
They pick and choose who they want to go after.
Of
That's not even a matter of color either. It's according to at this point who you are, in my opinion.
Let's see. Let's talk about some MLB. Let's see, big. The MLB All-Star Game is officially going to be in a week. Big.
For the charter.
Okay. So they officially announced the All-Star teams, and I must say I'm very upset. Call me a homer if you want. But they didn't. But no Dodgers were named the starters for this year's All-Star Game. By the way, congratulations, Mark. Freddie Freeman starting first base. Ronald Acuna Jr. starting in the outfield. Ozzie Albies will be a reserve second baseman. Dodgers got 3 reserves. But history was made. Shohei Ohtani will become the first player in MLB history to be selected as a pitcher and as a player who will be in the lineup. And now,
Who he play for again?
the Los Angeles Angels.
That's our future.
Yeah. No? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so now, but the story is that I had a beef with the All-Star game because no Dodger pitchers made it.
I don't know how that happened, and I'm not even a Dodger fan.
Let me explain what I'm talking about. No Kenley Jansen. Look, you don't want to put Clayton Kershaw on there? Okay, no Clayton Kershaw. No Walker Buehler. Obviously, Trevor Bauer wasn't going to be able to play anyway. But no Kenley Jansen? Kenley Jansen this year has 21 saves, an ERA of 1.49. In the last month, as Jimmy Butler's on the television, wow. 8 saves in the month of June. He went 8 for 8 in the month of June. And had an ERA of 0.00.
Are you kidding me?
But he did not make the All-Star game. By the way, you know who the manager is for the National League?
Who's that?
One Dave Roberts. So you're telling me, because obviously the teams who played in the World Series are going to be those managers will be managing the American League and the National League. So obviously in the National League, Dave Roberts will be the manager for the National League, and Kevin Cash. God, we haven't said that name in a while.
You talking about the idiot that
Yeah, that gifted the Dodgers the World Series. Yeah, him. The manager of the Tampa Bay Rays will be managing the American League. It's not. By the way, I'm playing that highlight on calling out names. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, let's talk NFL, gentlemen. That just ticked me off. What I just saw. Stick around for calling out names because it's going to be another iconic version.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, ESPN. Y'all really are batting 1,000 this week. Shout out to the GOAT Doris Burke. She's calling the game on ESPN Radio, by the way. Aaron Rodgers. He's in Montana right now, golfing with Tom Brady, Bryson DeChambeau, and Phil Mickelson. But he said that this offseason was good for his mental health. Now, I'm not going to question this man's mental health. But you know what I am going to tell you?
I hate when people just throw out mental health. Anyway, go ahead.
You're just basically saying now, you know you're not getting traded. So basically, you took the extra time off. You didn't show up to OTAs. You didn't show up to minicamp because you weren't going to – and you're not going to find you. But you will be at training camp because you are still under contract to the Green Bay Packers as Chris Paul just make that mid-range and they're now up 10 points.
Uh-oh.
Aaron Rodgers. What's up? He said, the great Ben Reddy just said Suns and 4. We'll give our predictions in a little bit.
Oh, good move, boy. That
You gotta
shot, boy.
make that. You got to make that, though.
Oh, Giannis limping.
That adrenaline done ran out.
Oh, God, you changed that.
Man.
But he made that 3, though. Good for him.
I feel like, man, they just have one question, and I heard somebody say this earlier, and I think about it until I heard it.
What's that, brother?
Last year, didn't Aaron Rodgers complain about there shouldn't be no OTAs?
Yeah.
And now this year he
Said it was good for his mental health not to be there. Shout out Johnny Bauer on YouTube said Rodgers is a diva, plain and simple.
I think Rodgers is more than a diva.
And I think you just basically sum up Mark's discuss.
Yeah,
Mark's
he's more than a diva.
point.
I think he just doesn't want to be in Green Bay no more, and he's trying to do everything in his possible way to be irritable to them without saying he wants to get traded.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: he's not going anywhere.
Green Bay's
much as I want him on my Broncos.
Jake Plummer said he'll be good over there.
Oh, but he got the and one. Is he okay? Is he okay? He's okay.
Yeah, that's not gonna be at the and one next year. Go ahead.
Show's not, but
yeah, that might be one of the last and ones we see from that type of play.
yeah, but oh boy, yeah, Chris Paul no ginger. Let's see, did he land on Brook Lopez's foot? He probably hit the step back.
That's a foul.
Oh!
No, that's a foul.
Yeah, that's a foul because he in his face, but then you saw he twisted he's that left ankle.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, he's gonna
It's gonna hurt tomorrow.
That's a roller.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, coach, I'll be in the training room all day during practice tomorrow, coach.
It wasn't as bad as Kyrie's, but
Nowhere close.
Nowhere close because Giannis was way in his space, but that's a whole other conversation.
Ooh,
Pause.
Lord.
By the way, shout out to Kyrie. Congratulations.
flagrant.
Shout out to Kyrie. Congratulations.
That was flagrant foul.
Well, no, wow.
Why they call it flagrant?
No.
No, he was what I just said was a flagrant foul.
What John just said was a flagrant foul.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So, Bucky Brooks has this another list out
Oh God.
Oh, here we go.
of the best of the Batman and Robins. I'm gonna find this list on it from NFL.
Batman and Robins.
The best Batman and Robins in the NFL.
Okay.
Well, as I find the list, but I would tell you who number one was. One, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Another list that Bucky has out is the quarterback and the coach under the most pressure.
How much does the NFL love the Chiefs?
I'm
not just saying that because they're in my division. But oh my goodness.
Well, they must love them a lot because wait till you hear what Mike Tannenbaum said about Ben Brady's quarterback this morning. But he also said the quarterback and the QB under the most pressure this year is that of a team that resides here in Los Angeles.
Who?
The Los Angeles Rams, where he says that Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford are the QB and coach that are under the most pressure.
Why?
for the 2021 season.
Why are they under pressure? This is their first year together.
Simply for the fact because all the trading of Jared Goff. So here's the list for this top 5 Batman and Robins. At number 5, he has the Rams with Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd.
I agree with that because they're most definitely very dangerous.
Number 4, he has Tampa Bay with Levante David and Devin White.
Dangerous.
That could be a little bit higher, by the way.
It should be higher.
Number 3, he has the Ravens, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters.
No.
I'll take Levante and Devin White over there.
Yes.
Number 2, he has the Chiefs running back combo of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
No.
And then number 1.
Wait. The who?
Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And then number 1, he has Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill.
I don't know about that one. I'm not even just saying this because I honestly think what you call it should be a little bit high. Well, I don't know because Mike Evans didn't play too well last year because of injury. But I think Mike Evans and Chris Godwin should be higher because they're most definitely a dangerous duo,
By the way,
whether Tom Brady's at quarterback or not.
Well, we also got to send some love and condolences out to the family of the legend, Terry Donahue.
Oh, man.
The legendary coach of UCLA football passed away on Sunday after a battle with cancer, at the age of 77. All-time winningest coach in UCLA football history, and still the all-time winningest coach in Pac-12 football history. Won 3 Rose Bowls as the coach of the Bruins.
Rest in peace.
He was there for forever.
So that's what I'm finding this list. The Cowboys, they're in the news because they were chosen this year as the representative to be on HBO's Hard Knocks real training camp with the Dallas Cowboys. This will be the Cowboys' 3rd time on Hard Knocks.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how entertaining this is gonna be because I don't think the Cowboys really have personalities like that outside of Zeke.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be the star of the show. Their owner, their general manager,
of course,
their president.
Of course.
One Mr. Jerry Jones.
He about to be all up in the cameras. He about to be in there more than P Diddy.
By the way, I learned this that the team that is featured on Hard Knocks, they have editing control over the camera.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And they're going to, basically, Jerry can say, there's not enough of me on the camera. You need to add more.
Yep, it's probably the Jerry Jones show.
And by the way, where do they where do they Cowboys have training camp at, by the way?
Oxnard.
So you're going to be out here, and I know your players are going to venture out to the city of Los Angeles because you're going to be in the valley, in Oxnard, and you're eventually going to try to make your way towards Hollywood.
There's some nice food places after hours out there in the valley.
Well, I hope that they have a chaperone for Zeke. Dak doesn't need one. He's grown. He's an adult, but they're definitely don't need one.
I don't know. I know after that fight I saw in the parking lot that he lost. But go ahead.
Oh. Well, technically he was in college, man. He didn't happen as an adult. Maybe
He was old enough.
He was old enough to not get dropped like that. That was kind of embarrassing. But
that was kind of also part of the reason why he might have fell in the draft because of that video.
Because he got knocked out?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people saw the video.
Yeah, that video went everywhere.
So if he would have won the fight, he would have went higher?
Possibly.
Well, the Broncos were thinking about taking him in the 2nd round. Everyone was calling him a right hand Tim Tebow.
That's not a good comparison.
That's horrible. Why would you want that?
He shouldn't have got drafted that high with that
because
comparison.
he was coached by Dan Mullen.
But why would you want to be considered the next Tim? All right, but go ahead.
Yeah, Tim Tebow's only relevant in Florida. Go ahead.
So last year we had the Rams and the Chargers on Hard Knocks, but now this year we got the Cowboys, and obviously Derry's gonna make it all about himself. But I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with the Cowboys as far as with Dak, with Zeke, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, who they drafted. It's just gonna be interesting to see. But let's get ahead to talk to some NBA gentlemen because I've been ready because it's time. Now we've had enough of all this stuff. We know what y'all came here for. Y'all want to talk some hoops. And let's go ahead and get into the NBA. The NBA finals are now set, and we're watching as we're in the 3rd quarter. The Phoenix Suns are up 13, 65-52 on the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is playing. Chris Paul just hit a 4-point play, but kind of rolled up his ankle, so hopefully he's okay.
And
So-
we have Bear here.
What's
And
up, Bear?
Bears in the house.
Bear's in the house.
Shout out. Let's go ahead and make some early predictions. Now that we know that Giannis is playing, he's probably not going to miss any more games in this series. I'll go first. I have the Suns in 6, and I have Chris Paul as the Finals MVP. Mark.
I have the Suns in 6. I have Devin Booker as the Finals MVP.
Nick Freeze.
I don't know. This is difficult because I don't know what this Bucks team can do if
This who?
this Bucks team to do if Giannis was healthy, and if he gets healthy anytime during this series, it could completely shift it. But I don't think he gets to that point, and I want to say Suns and I want to say Suns in 6, but I think I might go Suns in 5.
Wow.
I
So
think,
you think that Milwaukee's only good enough to win one game?
Yeah, I think Milwaukee get up out of here quick because Chris Middleton.
Yep.
By the way, every time you've had something to say about him, he's actually played better, right?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention. It's Chris Middleton.
Chris, come on. Oh, man. Oh, so I'm sure Watkins in the comments. He's saying Chris said they shouldn't been paid for their lives putting their lives on the line for the MOC.
Man, look.
Because, the Padres knocking up. Stop it.
The Padres doing what?
They knocking them Dodger pitchers around the park. Okay, y'all won one series and slow down.
Yeah, I don't know what
Then
the
we bring up what happened in the bubble last year.
Oh, yeah.
That's like being called the next. Oh, he's saying being compared to Tim Tebow is like being called the next Christian Laettner. Oh!
That's a guy who can win Finals MVP if he balled the whole series.
Yeah.
No, Pat Beverly ain't guarding there.
Yeah, shout out to Patrick Beverly for the defense he played, even though he did a buster move against Chris Paul.
By the way, what did y'all think of that? He only got a one game suspension.
Who cares? No matter how many games, even if he would have got suspended for 5 games at the beginning of the year, who cares? I never understood suspensions that happen at the beginning of the year.
Well,
That makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, it's the beginning of the year. If anything, it's an extended vacation.
Yeah.
Aiden almost put Giannis on the poster.
At this point, it's pretty much easy. He's not.
He has
100%.
He has no lift in that knee right now.
Yeah. Ooh, man,
Pause.
yeah.
Look, here's the play right here. So CP3, Rob, look at
Yeah, that was
Giannis
that
healthy.
Giannis healthy. Lob either.
Giannis healthy would have basically
He would have swatted that.
or intercepted the pass or somehow. But
Make your free throws. There you go. Number 1 overall pick.
by the way, Michael Thompson is claiming DeAndre Ayton because obviously they're both in the Bahamas. He's the only other Bahamian-born player drafted number 1 like Michael Thompson. So he's adopting him just to be. So I guess he's Clay's adopted brother, foster brother, I guess.
All right.
I guess.
But
He's
He be
definitely
doing some corny stuff.
He's most definitely better than Michael Thompson. But go ahead.
So let's talk about the finals. So as we said, we're all picking the Suns right now. I mean, Ben Reddy has picked them in 4. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Bucks can win at least one game. As Chris Paul's, that's money. Oh, miss, my bad. But I think this is going to be interesting because we've been talking about this postseason as Brook Lopez just knocked down to 3.
Could be doing it with the Lakers.
Don't remind me. Way to go, Magic. I hope you're having fun on the Mediterranean.
Did he trade him or did he?
No, he let him walk as a free agent and and he signed with Milwaukee only for $3 million before he ended up re-signing signing a 4-year deal.
And y'all-
Offensive foul, by the way, on Booker.
And y'all signed who to replace him?
Michael Beasley,
Continue.
who showed up to sub in for a game and forgot his shorts. He still had on his practice shorts.
That's offensive foul. What you complaining for, Booker?
Yeah, that was offensive
Yeah, you
foul.
can't kick your leg out, son. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's offensive foul.
And I know one thing.
You're not Reggie Miller.
By the way, I know one thing Devin Booker's good at.
Complaining?
No, not being the next Kobe. That's what he's good at. By the way, did you see the story with Jalen Green?
What happened?
Jalen Green, who's projected possibly the number 1 pick in the draft, he is saying that he wants to be compared to Kobe.
That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be compared to somebody that you idolize.
And I'm like, no, and that's what I want to bring up. Usually when you hear stuff like that, you're like, man, you really gonna say that? But I'm like, go for yours, kid. You embracing the Mamba. I don't hear people because usually players shy away from. I don't want to be compared to Jordan. I don't want to be compared to Kobe, LeBron, and blah blah blah. This kid said, "Yeah, I want to be compared to the greatest."
He's a hooper too.
Yeah, he is. He's very good.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers and Bryson DeChambeau have defeated Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson in the match.
Oh man, yeah. If too bad, Jalen Green's most definitely not going number 1 overall though.
Yeah, he's going number 2. By the way, who did I hear? My guy Jason McIntyre. I love you, man, but he said Cade Cunningham is the next Chris Middleton.
What?
The guy who's projected to be the number 1 overall pick.
Wait,
he's the next Chris Middleton. He's not nothing special. He's the next Chris Middleton.
yo, look. Listen. As much as I talk best about Chris Middleton's a good player. He's not as garbage as I always say he is, even though he is. But
Dude, man, that was so contradictory.
yeah. But for you to say that a person who's about to be number 1 overall pick is the next Chris Middleton, that's not a comparison I want to hear if I'm the person drafting him. I don't want to draft Chris Middleton number 1 overall. I want to draft a Damian Lillard number 1 overall, a Stephen Curry, a LeBron. Or
Who got the number 1 pick?
The Pistons.
The Pistons. So they're probably going to end up drafting Jalen Green. They're going to do the opposite of what everybody think they're going to do, which is still a good pick. I mean, to be honest with you, they can't go wrong with either one. Both players are going to be good for their franchise.
Evan Mobley said, "Y'all really just forgetting about me right now, huh?"
That's because he's not a guard. You know, people always
People are fascinated with guards.
Yeah, but it's crazy how much they're fascinated with guards. But it's like what I said. The reason why Ayton was drafted number 1 overall, because outside of the fact that he played at Arizona, it was the fact of that, a center that's very good, he can be plugged into every single system there is in the league. There's not a system that he really can't prosper in. Mm-hmm. Especially one that can score the way he does. He's aggressive. He can rebound. He can defend.
Yeah.
He can shoot.
I think that's Evan Mobley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's Evan Mobley.
Those are players that if you're gonna draft a player number 1 overall, I need you to be good in at least most of the major categories.
Kenzie said Chris is the best player on the Bucks.
Who? Chris who?
Chris Middleton.
In what year?
Has he been listening to Kendrick Perkins and Steven Jackson?
So wait. Chris Middleton? No. Let's not get caught up in the moment, everybody. No. Let's relax. I just try to give the dude his props just a second ago, but hearing statements like that, but you want to go back to the episode. Never mind. I can't bring the episode up. The Chris Middleton episode, if everybody hasn't heard that one yet.
But that is because Kendrick Perkins has said that that Chris Middleton is Batman and Giannis is Robin.
I don't want to hear nothing from Alfred.
Wow. How you call him Alfred, dude?
He's not. Look, I can't call Perkins Robin or Batman. He's not Nightwing.
Wow.
He's Alfred. I don't want to hear what Alfred has to say about Batman or Robin.
I don't think that Chris Middleton is the Batman, but I do think Chris Middleton is a closer on that team, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's because if you're going to talk about offensive players, he's the better offensive player because he's the better shooter.
No, he's just a better shooter. I'm not going to say he's a better offensive player. He's a better shooter.
I mean, as much as Giannis can score, the scoring versatility is the difference, as I can say.
Right.
Giannis at the end of the game, he's not that good of a shooter, so you'll have to go to a dude like Chris Middleton or a Drew Holiday.
Before we go to Cancun, I want to salute. Happy birthday to the last week. Happy 55th birthday to the legend Mike Tyson last week.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a question that was brought up on First Take. Who is the scariest athlete of all time?
Mike Tyson.
I don't think that was a debate, right?
But who you could make a case for it too? George Foreman. Hey, people used to be scared of George Foreman. When I hear like the OGs, athlete.
Where Lawrence Taylor at?
But I say Lawrence Taylor. He was a guy that was feared. Who else? People used to talk about Deacon Jones back in the day. They talking about he was somebody that
Mean Joe Green.
Yep.
Hey, Kevin Green, rest in peace. He was crazy.
Yeah, he was crazy. I thought he is gone. Rest in peace. I forgot about that.
What else?
Yeah, for real.
Who else? Anybody on the 85 Bears was just rest in peace. Dave Durson.
Yeah, Mike Singletary,
Steve McMichael. Hope salute. Get well.
Jack Tatum was mean too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who was that played? Jack Lambert. Didn't he play on one hand on a broken leg?
Something like that. Yeah, Jack Lambert was crazy.
Someone said Kendrick Perkins said right now the scariest athlete is your boy 99 from the Rams.
Who? Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he is.
I wouldn't say that he's the scared. He's most definitely the most dominant. So when you talk about defensive players in the NFL, which can be scary.
I gotta go with Tyson because
I don't think he's mean though.
Tyson, who bites a dude's ear?
Somebody who's crazy and frustrated. He only bit his ears. He getting every time he thought he was. Every time he punched, he would miss and get countered. He got frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
That was Mike's frustration coming out.
So, gentlemen, now we're in the finals. There's only 2 teams left, which means 2 teams went home. Let's go to Cancun, Ben ready. Let's go to Cancun, y'all. Oh, man. Now, this is not going to be a happy moment for one Nick Freeze, so we'll give it some time before we
It was inevitable.
So, let's go to Cancun. First teams in Cancun is the Atlanta Hawks. The news yesterday, Nate McMillan is now officially their head coach.
I mean, if they would have let him not be their head coach, that would have been the dumbest move in the history of sports. This dude pretty much transformed your entire team into a title contender while being down, minus 13 under 13 games under 500 when he took over. That's freaking insane.
So now, what happens for the Hawks? Trae Young he wasn't even an All-Star this year. Wasn't All-NBA, but he had a great.
He had a coming out party.
With the in the playoffs.
He put people on notice, and to be honest, he played better last year.
And Chris Paul just hit a
which
corner
is crazy.
3. He averaged 28 points and 9 assists in his first year in the playoffs. Who had a better obviously, we could say it because Devin Booker's in the finals, but who really had the better postseason out of Devin Booker and Chris Paul? Is it Booker by default because he's in the finals, but
Devin Booker and who else?
And Trae Young. Is it Booker by default just because he's in the finals? Or we can look at it
individually. Trae.
It's definitely Trae Young. Success-wise, team-wise, it's most definitely Phoenix.
Phoenix was a better.
Who is up by 18 as we speak right now, and that is most definitely not gunshots, people.
Shout out to the 4th. The 4th of July is still going on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But if you want to talk about who had a better postseason, this most definitely was Trae Young, off the simple fact of if Trae Young wasn't up over there doing what he was doing, Atlanta most definitely wouldn't have gotten to the point they were at. Trae Young was like he was the evil villain for like 2 straight rounds.
Wow, Chris Paul with another threat from Chris Tucker.
Chris Paul, he's trying to win Finals MVP.
What can the Hawks do? Now, here's a question. John Collins is a restricted free agent. He wants max money. He turned down $80 million last year. Are you letting him walk?
No, if you're not going to pay him, you got to figure out some type of sign and trade something, because this dude he's not weak. He's athletic. He can excuse me. I think he averaged he averaged 20 and like 8 this year or something like that.
Because you're gonna have to pay Trae Young. You're paying Bogdanovich. You're paying right now. You're still paying.
But they gotta worry about paying Trae Young until like another year or 2.
Yeah, but they probably want to start.
They probably want to get out the way.
Get that clock started. Because actually, wait a minute. They can pay Luka this year because obviously Luka made All NBA, so they have an extra year because Trae Young has never been on an All NBA team. So, but they might want to get that deal done ASAP.
Luka gonna try to about to win Slovenia the USA gold if they keep on playing.
By the way, Chris Paul has 16 points in the third quarter.
He has 27 points in total without scoring in the first quarter.
So that leads the other team who's now in Cancun. Nick Freeze's Los Angeles Clippers.
Yep.
That is wrong. Okay. Go. Okay, Nick.
Yeah.
You've been saying some very interesting takes on the Clippers offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And you have said you would not care if they brought Kawhi Leonard back.
Nah. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I know it sounds crazy saying that I wouldn't care about if we don't re-sign a top 10, possibly top 5 player in the league. But let's just be real. The Clippers have enough talent to make up for, let's say for example we let him leave and then we let Ibaka leave. That's a lot of money that frees up. So with that money that's gone, you can pursue another top-notch player if you really wanted to.
Right.
Even if you want to pursue it as Paul George being your best player, having Paul George being your second best player again, at that point it doesn't matter because now, and we have trade assets as well. But we have to re-sign Reggie Jackson. I'm sorry, we have to re-sign him. He proved that he is a pivotal part of our offense and our team. Because if it wasn't for him, we most definitely would have lost a couple of games.
How much you giving Reggie Jackson?
I give him in the range of 15.
Would you give him
a year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you give him 15?
I would give him 15. It's crazy because his market is 10 to 12.
Yeah, I'll give him 15.
Yeah, so
he proved in the biggest moments that he shows up.
Exactly.
And and it's good because he's not the primary scorer on the team. So he's not killing your team. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He comes in and does his thing and gets out. Yeah.
So now the question is, now there's talk that when the free agency begins, the Heat and the Mavs are going to be two teams who pursue Kawhi Leonard. Ben ready? You want your Mavs to go after Kawhi, pair him with Luka?
That'd be scary.
But that question is, what happens? How do y'all get rid of Porzingis?
Somebody will pick up. Somebody will get Porzingis because at the end of the day, Porzingis is still 7'3", and he's an offensive player. So some team will add him up over there. Some team that's not even a playoff team.
Chris Middleton with the step back.
Yeah, too bad I think that might fit. But somebody will get that contract because even though he played trash against us, he's not that bad of a player. So we'll see.
What about with the Miami situation? Him, Kawhi, Bam Adebayo. Obviously, I don't know what Pat Riley be thinking. Sometimes you could have had him with James Harden. You could imagine if you had James Harden, you probably could have signed Kawhi Leonard. But
I'm gonna be honest with you, if I'm the Miami Heat, I go after Kawhi Leonard and trade Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna be honest with you because they're the same player.
That's true.
Well, speaking of that, I just seen the trade rumor that Jimmy Butler to Golden State.
I saw that the other day.
That would be crazy.
But why would Golden State do that?
Trade Andrew Wiggins.
That simple. He'll have the same role as Andrew Wiggins.
Oh,
he can be Andrew Iguodala.
Wow,
a better version.
He'll be Iguodala on steroids, probably.
Yeah, because he can still at this point in their careers. He's still a better offensive player than Iguodala was during that time because he only had like 1 year when he was actually a good offensive player with them. Mm-hmm. And so he could do this pretty much the same exact thing while being their best perimeter defender. Mm-hmm. And he don't have to worry about scoring something he doesn't like doing anyways. It seems like it.
That actually would be a good pickup for both teams because they said Miami would get Wiggins, Wiseman, and then that 14th pick.
Yeah. And how would that work with Wiseman and Bam Adebayo? Oh, that would be kind of crazy.
No, that'd be real crazy.
Because you can move Adebayo to power forward.
I think of the Warriors.
Your front court would be set. You got Wiggins, Adebayo, and Wiseman.
At that point, you just figure out your point guard.
I like Kendrick Nunn.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. I like Kendrick Nunn.
They got shooters. They got shooters over there.
I don't know if you remember, but I said, man, if I'm Miami, I'll call Brooklyn and say, yo, man.
Call for Kyrie? Kyrie for who?
Kendrick Nunn, the shooters.
You could get rid of Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero and throw a draft pick in. It's over. That's it.
Because I think Kendrick Nunn would have been perfect. Would have been perfect with Brooklyn.
It wouldn't matter if you throw in 1 or 2. It doesn't matter. Whatever you need, because at that point, from Brooklyn's aspect, they still get a good point guard, and then they getting more shooting.
Wow.
If I'm Miami, I think I'd do that trade with Golden State.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
The Goon Squad.
Because you're getting younger.
Yeah, most definitely. And let's just be honest. People talk bad about Wiggins. Wiggins, in my opinion, proved, even though his scoring numbers aren't how they were up over there at Minnesota, he proved that he could still be a valuable asset for a team because of his defense and his hustle plays. And he can still, and he's a streaky shooter, but he's still athletic. He can still get to the rack and everything, and he can still give you between 16 and 19 points.
Yep.
Guaranteed. Right. And if he's on, he'll give you like about 25 to 30 on an own night. Most definitely.
Yeah. I like, and if you're in Miami, you can do that and still go after Kawhi.
Well, we'll see.
And let's not forget that Andrew Wiggins is 6'8", so he'll be the same height as Bam Adebayo.
You can have Kawhi. You can have Wiggins at 2, Kawhi at the 3, Bam and Wiseman.
Okay, that is scary.
That's a championship right there.
That's scary.
I'm sorry, that's a championship right there.
By the way, shout out to David Fisdale. Welcome home.
Yeah, most definitely.
Next
Eastside Zone.
That's right.
Eastside on.
That's right.
Went to Fremont, all that.
San Pedro was good. New assistant, soon to be named the next assistant head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Might end up being the next head coach.
Well, we'll see. But now, as we leave the island of Cancun, it's time to go to the island of calling out names. Segment. Young Dolly's favorite segment. Shout out to Dolly. Shout out to Too Much Game. Shout out to CJ. Cat versus Dog. Shout out to the umbrella. Often imitated, never duplicated. It's time to call out some names. And I have 2 names I'm calling out. I'm calling them out together, 2 for 1. I'm calling out Shaquille O'Neal and Stephen A. Smith. I'm calling them out because Shaq responded to LeBron saying that, that the injuries had a lot to do with that there were so many injuries this season with marquee players. And Shaq went ahead and said, well, these dudes are making like $200 million and this and that, shouldn't be complaining and all this other crap. Stephen A. Smith went ahead and said, I agree with Shaq and LeBron James is the ringleader. Before you go, you could have just said, I agreed with Shaq. You did not have to do the Skip Bayless thing and say, oh, LeBron's the ringleader. LeBron just basically said, look, man, we'll still be in the playoffs if it wasn't for all these injuries. But I'll let y'all talk. I'll let y'all have it.
I'm going to be honest with you. If this would have been a regular offseason, I would kind of agree what they're saying. But this wasn't a regular offseason. It wasn't, they literally had less than what? They had like 60 days?
71 days.
They had 71 days to basically recover from a basketball, a high-octane basketball tournament. Highest level basketball tournament we've seen probably ever. And for you to say that what they said after, considering what happened, it's not like LeBron was lying. Let's just be real. Look, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Look at all the teams. Look at all the people that are hurt. Look at all these pivotal players hurt on these teams, on all these good teams. People at the beginning of the season were expecting to see either the Lakers versus the
Brooklyn,
Nets, or they were expecting either the Clippers versus the Nets, or like Philly going to the final. Those are like some of the things you kept hearing, and literally except for Philly. Well, yeah, to an extent Philly too, because Embiid got hurt as well. But pretty much all those teams dealt with injury issues.
Only problem I have with Shaq is when he said, if I'm making $200 million, you won't get no complaining from me. I play back to back to back to back. This is the same guy when he got hurt, didn't have surgery until the season started because he said, I got hurt on company time.
I recover
on company time. That don't sound like I'm playing back to back to back to back to back to me.
That sounds like somebody being extremely selfish, and I like Shaq.
And Stephen A., you didn't have to co-sign by saying, "Oh, well, LeBron's the ringleader." Come on, don't be skipped right now, bro.
No, Stephen A. Smith has something against L.A. teams because it's something about.
You're not welcome to L.A.
Yeah, because look,
he here all the dang time. He must.
That's what I'm saying. Look, he goes out of his way. It seems like all the time to bring Kawhi into something, or bring up something about Kawhi Leonard. He was a defender of LeBron James for forever until he came to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. I'm just being real. At this point, it seems like it's just the East Coast bias, the New York, LA thing. That's what it seems like to me, because it makes no sense, because LeBron pretty much saying the same exact thing that everybody is literally seeing. If they would have waited for the season to start, waited until MLK Day, like they should have,
and didn't play an All-Star game.
Exactly, which was dumb in itself.
Which was not supposed to happen, but
They should. Yeah, I think that's the one thing that shouldn't have happened. Like throughout that whole thing was the All-Star game shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry.
it was weak.
It was. Yeah, you could tell people didn't want to be there. People expressed not wanting to be there. So that should have been that's never should have happened. But this shortened offseason with what happened last year, most definitely. And if you really look at it, the teams that went far in the bubble last year, they were pretty much done after the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 teams that went to the finals was done after round 1.
Yep.
Man, don't remind me. Mark, you got anybody you want to call out, bro?
No, you did Shaq, so pause.
Hey, Nick.
I had somebody I was supposed to have on calling on that. I forgot who it was. Must not have been important. Andre Drummond.
So
What he do?
I'm in the comments. So I Ken's, he said, can we call out Andre Drummond? Okay, I know why you want to call out Andre
What
Drummond.
Andre Drummond do?
So Andre Drummond did an interview.
Andre Drummond, funny.
Yeah, he goes in the comments. I'm gonna raise the post because we posted it on Showtime for him.
Mm-hmm.
So Andre Drummond went out his way to do an interview, and he was asked about. First of all, he said he doesn't want to play for the veteran minimum. I'm never going to get involved in another person's money. To each his own.
He's better than playing for the veterans minimum.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
So
He's definitely better than playing for the veterans minimum.
So a fan tells Andre Drummond he wishes Andre Drummond would dominate like DeAndre and Brook Lopez. Drummond responds
DeAndre what?
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say he got to specify who you talking about.
He says he tells Drummond he wishes Andre would dominate like Ayton and Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
Drummond responds, "Tell your coach play me more, and I could."
Uh-oh.
So that was a shot. That was a pure shot at Frank Vogel saying he didn't get enough playing time.
Frank Vogel not a coach either, so.
Yes, Mark.
When he came over there, didn't he just get the starting spot?
He
Yes.
sure did.
Shut
It was
up.
guaranteed.
That was
Man,
part of
shut
the
up.
reason why he went up over there.
Man, shut up. In the minutes that you played, would you dominate like DeAndre Ayton or Brook Lopez?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had, Jimmy. I'm gonna say so.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, my bad, John. Hey, Nick, I don't think he's better than a veterans minimum on the championship team. I think he puts up good numbers on bad teams.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. He came into a bad situation, anyways. No, he came into a team that was supposed to be championship bound that pretty much was held back due to injury. So he's supposed to go up over there, be that third option for everything, and he ended up. I don't know. I think it should be. I think it should give 1 full year of this if you're gonna do anything with Andre Drummond, because he can most definitely be a factor in these games. Because this dude is most definitely he's one of the best rebounders we've most definitely seen in the league history.
I think DeAndre. I think Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee play better roles for the Lakers than Drummond.
Do not remind me.
Yeah, because he's not mobile. I mean, that's just what it is. I said it wouldn't happen.
I'll be like this. Dwight can come back next year.
I don't think Dwight wants to come back no more. I think he might have got comfortable over there in Philly.
I don't know, man.
I think he want to come back.
I think he wants to come back. Obviously,
we're next to Cooper.
Exactly.
Clippers.
Oh,
By the way, Ken's asked, could we call out WWE star Jimmy Uso because he got a DUI? Let me say this.
who?
This dude named Jimmy Uso is a wrestler. He said he got a second DUI in 2 years.
How you get?
Number one, they said in TMZ's report, the first DUI got dropped back in 2019. Then he got arrested with a blow alcohol level of 0.205. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to drink, please do not drive. If you're going to drink, get you an Uber. And I will leave it at that. Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going to say about that.
In the words of Bobby Brown, drink responsibility.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, B. We got to talk about that after the show. Yeah. We got to talk about that after the show. I ain't forgot. Whoa, that's his 5th DUI? Well, still, drink responsibly. Please. 5th? How the first you get past second, first of all? I guess that's the second, first of all. Yeah, good point. Money.
Yeah.
And he was in Florida, by the way.
What else is
And he
I don't think judges are scared of Samoans. So I'm just gonna be real. Let's be real.
Yeah.
wow.
I think judges are scared of Samoans, but that's real. But yeah, that's gonna do for calling out names. As we're in the 4th quarter right now, the Suns are up by 13, 96-83.
They should have been hitting the freeway on this game.
So we're gonna head on out of here. when we're back here next week after Game 3, what's the series?
2-1.
2-1.
2-1 who?
Phoenix.
Yeah, I think it's 2-1 Phoenix.
Which game does Milwaukee win?
When Milwaukee goes back home.
So they win Game 3 Sunday.
Yeah. Now, if Milwaukee somehow wins one of these 2 games, I think Phoenix has a serious problem.
Real quick before we also go, I want to salute the ESPYs is Saturday. Maya Moore, congratulations. She's getting the Arthur Ashe Award for courage.
She need to go into the Hall of Fame already.
Well, yeah.
She's in my Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she is.
Nice.
Where does she rank among UConn players?
Man, I can't say that on the show.
1.
She's won?
1.
Yeah.
Over Brianna Stewart? Over Sue Bird? Over Taurasi? Over Rebecca Lobo?
Yeah.
Only person I would question maybe is Taurasi. Because Taurasi was she was great.
It was good, man.
But Maya Moore is just
All-time leading W league scorer, by the way, is Diana Taurasi.
Maya Moore is just
She's just different.
yeah. That's what Kobe said. Different beasts in the same animal.
Yeah, I guarantee you, she comes back to the NBA.
She'll come.
She returns to the WNBA tomorrow. She puts up 20.
Definitely a different animal.
She puts up 20 in her sleep.
Big purr.
So shout out to us. Congratulations. You got jokes. But so well segue to my next question.
No rules.
Exactly. No rules tomorrow.
Yeah.
No rules with this guy right to my right. Our producer been ready. Ill will.
That was crazy.
This dude. And, hold on now. The Suns, the Bucks have just shut this lead to 9 now.
That's what I'm saying. That's finish and hit the freeway with this game.
Bryn Forbes just hit a 3. So
Hold
so
on.
question. So the question. So yeah, no rules tomorrow. Around this time tomorrow, 6:00, 6:30.
Bam.
Mark, Ill Will, been ready. Shout out to Dolly, 200 Game Podcast. Shout out to CJ, Cotton Dog versus. Shout out to Big Homie Smiles, Cat versus Dog. No, not yet. All the Townhouse Media fam support. Make sure you follow us on the socials. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Always download on the digital side wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm gonna say it's also gonna be 2-1. I think the Suns win tonight. They'll win the night. I think Milwaukee wins Game 2, and I think Phoenix goes back and wins Games 3. I think the series is still going 6.
Skylar Diggins over Maya Moore.
And what?
Might look better.
You gotta be a little bit specific, Ken. Are you saying? I'm hoping that's what he means, right?
Sorry.
That's an after show conversation, right?
Yeah.
Look, Skylar Diggins is nice.
Man, you ain't lying.
But she ain't like obviously Drake made a song basically about her on the spot at the ESPYs.
Yeah.
But
Man,
she's not better than Maya Moore on the court though.
no.
She's nice though, obviously, but by the way, she's in Phoenix.
I'd rather they said Candace Parker or something. I don't know. Yeah.
By the way, Candace Parker will be leading Team WNBA versus the Team USA.
Man, the Sparks on calling out names for forever.
By the way,
man, you can't. I don't care what happens. You got to make sure she stays at the Sparks for forever.
by the way,
I'm sorry.
I brought this up on Twitter. They're going to wait till after the Olympics because the WNBA is going to take a break because a lot of their players are going to be in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But let's just wait. But for them to say that's when the WNBA going to return to the Staples Center. I mean, are the Clippers or Lakers playing tomorrow? Are the Kings playing tomorrow?
Nope.
They're playing their games inside the convention center.
That's pathetic.
Although LeBron, Dame showed up, D Wade showed up. I seen Alvin Kamara at a couple of games recently.
Either way, what's going on with the
We
Saints.
got to end the show because it's just jokes. That's
Okay.
it's really happening.
So, gentlemen,
It's too easy.
ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for joining us. We're going to head on out of here as we finish watching this game. And, again, follow us all on the socials where you find your podcast. Subscribe, hit the like buttons, and make sure you follow Townhouse Media on all our podcasts. This was a great summer night as we're out here on the West Coast. So make sure y'all join us next week as we'll continue talking about the finals. Look ahead to game 4. And probably game 5. MLB All-Star game. We'll recap the Home Run Derby. All that.
Was
What's
that
up, Eve?
Yeah, it's Eve, Brandy, and Tori Norton on the show. On the new show on ABC coming out. in the fall. Shout out to Power.
Shout out to Eve.
She was in London when she did that Versus. Skizzy said, "Sports for you after dark." Comment. You listen to the show too much, man.
Be there at the London.
Okay, so we gonna head on out of here. I'm John. That's Mark. That's Nick Freeze.
Yes, sir.
The man on the board is the Power Father, producer being ready. This has been Sports for You, episode 56. We out. We'll see you next week. Peace.